Okay, it's 1:03, so we'll go ahead and start the call. Welcome, everyone, NFFE leaders. Um, I know when you're looking at your agenda, it says opening remarks from NFFE President Randy Irwin. Randy was traveling back to DC and he got held up in travel, so he's not going to be able to be here. So I'm opening the call. I'm Jeff Friday, NFFE's General Counsel. So this is a first for us, as far as I know, that we try to have a call with our leaders to talk about convention ahead of time. It's really, the idea here is just to kind of go over the materials that we sent to all the locals, and, you know, familiarize folks with the processes associated with the convention, and also answer any questions that people have. So I'm just going to jump right in and turn it over to our business rep, Amy Gollinger, who's got a point person for the 2024 convention, and she's going to talk about the materials. So take it away, Amy.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I was excited to see that there are 5 pages of faces here, so everyone must be getting excited about convention. I know we are at National. We wanted to take this opportunity to let you know that the convention planning process, which started about 1.5 years ago, is well underway, and we're starting to make some moves that are important that the locals know about so that you guys can fully participate and engage in this convention. NFFE hosts its conventions every 4 years. That means every 4 years, our locals have an opportunity to elect their local leaders, to participate in any changes to the bylaws, which are our governing documents. Those are the rules and policies that we use to govern our union on a daily basis. Also to submit resolutions. Resolutions are documents that demonstrate what NFFE is working towards or goals that we have for our future. So this is a great opportunity for our local folks to get involved, to play a role in the governing of our union. And as such, we just wanted to make sure everyone is up to date, that you have all the materials to share with your local, and that we can answer any questions to make the process as smooth as possible. So let's see. At the end of February, we sent out the convention mailer. The convention mailer were all the documents that you need to guide your local through the process of attending convention. The first document was a convention call. This has all the information and a general overview of what we'll be working on at convention. So the positions that are open for election, how you elect your delegates to attend and vote for those officers, what you can do to submit changes for proposals for bylaws and resolutions, where we have booked our hotel arrangements so you and your delegates can book your rooms at a government rate and in time. So this is probably the most important document. I hope everyone received it. If you have not yet received your convention mailer in the mail, please contact us at NFFE. We're at NFFE Convention 2024 at neffe.org. Matt, would you mind putting up the screen so folks can jot that down? It has our contact information. That email is all things convention related. So if you need something, if you have a question, a concern, anything you need, just email us at neffeconvention2024 at neffe.org, and we will get back with you and see how we can help. The other documents that are important in the convention mailer are the 2 documents that are called the Guide for the Election of Delegates and the 2024 National Election Rules. These documents are more in depth. They go into all the details about how you elect delegates so that they can vote for the national officers who are running for office for NFFE. So take a look at these. I'll be going over them in a broad way soon, but these are very important. This is probably the most sort of intricate, complex part of convention, and we just want to make sure everyone has the information that they need. The other documents that you'll find in the convention mailer are the forms. So you've got 4 forms in there. You've got the candidate nomination form. If you or someone in your local is interested in running for office, the positions that you can run for are president, secretary treasurer, vice president, or trustee. You would fill out this form and send it in to NFFE. Matt, would you mind putting up the list of all the important dates?
I sure can.
So the deadline to submit a nomination, either for yourself or someone else, is May the 1st. So if you plan on running for office, you want to submit this form by May 1st. All right, so say you've submitted a candidate nomination form or someone has done it on your behalf. The next important thing that you need to remember is you have to accept that nomination. Someone can nominate you and you get to choose whether or not you accept it and you plan on running. So if you do plan on running, we will let you know if you've received a nomination and you will send in a form saying, yes, I accept, I plan on running. And you will send this information back to NFFE at our physical address in Washington, D.C., or to that email address that we listed. I think we got a question from Mike Ropeman about the difference between the IAM, sorry, one second, the IAM Constitution and the NFFE bylaw. So the IAM Constitution, the IAM is our parent organization, of course. We've been affiliated with them since 1999. The Constitution governs everything related to how that union is run. Our bylaws are a little more specific to NFFE. They dictate how we run our elections, how our national officers serve, things like that. So both of those documents can be found on our website. You do have to be a member first, so you have to have a login and a password to access those things, but both can be accessed on our website. The final two documents that I wanted to let you know about are the bylaws amendment form and the resolution form. Resolutions do not change our bylaws, but they act as sort of a statement of interest or cause. We've had resolutions saying that we will create a Young Federal Leaders Program. That dictates our interest and our involvement to pursue a Young Workers Program for our union. So that's a resolution. The bylaws amendment form is a document that the local will submit. And that allows the local to submit proposals to change our governing documents, NFFE's bylaws. This is, some of the main work that we do at convention every 4 years. These are our governing documents, as I said. If your local wishes to submit amendments to propose amendments to the bylaws, those will be discussed and voted on at convention on Thursday, our last day. So those are the documents you should have received. If you did not receive them, please let us know. We'd be happy to email those to you and to make sure that we have the correct address on file. Matt, would you mind putting up that important deadlines document again?
Sure can.
Thank you. So these deadlines have all been sent to locals. They were in the email that invited you to this Zoom meeting. I just wanted everything to be in one place. So if you have a question about when things are due, check out that document. As I mentioned, nominations for running for office are May 1st. At your May local lodge meeting, whenever that may be, you should let your membership know that you will be hosting a nomination meeting in the month of June. So in the month of June, all locals at their local lodge meeting will be accepting nominations to serve as delegates to our convention. At the June meeting, your local lodge meeting in June, you will be electing those delegates to attend convention if they're contested. I'm sorry, I may have misspoke. Let's see. Meeting, yes.
Yeah, I think the election would be in July, right?
Sorry, I apologize. So in June, you're nominating, July, you're electing. There's more information about how you do that in those documents that I referenced. We've got 2 documents that talk about how you elect your delegates. The delegate is the person that will go to convention and cast your local's votes for bylaws changes and for those elected officers. So it's a very important role. Sometimes the local president goes. You guys can decide how you allocate your credentials. Our bylaws speak to how many votes your local will get. That is determined the last pay period in May. We will take the remittance reports. We'll determine how many locals you have on the books. And then we will determine how many delegates you get. You guys can decide how you allocate those votes. You may have 3 votes at convention. You may decide to send 3 delegates, or you may decide to send 1 delegate who will carry all 3 votes. In July 18th, the proposals to amend the bylaws and the resolutions are due. Again, you can mail those in, but they have to be due at our office by July 18th, or you can email them to the email address we provided. And August 16th is the deadline to submit your credentials. The credentials will go out at the end of June. That's a triplicate document that states who will be your delegates. They're signed by the local lodge, and those are sent back to NFFE so we know who will be coming to a convention and who will be voting. The final deadline that I wanted to make you aware of is August 29th. We've secured a great hotel. In fact, Matt, would you mind putting up the hotel information? It used to be called the Lowe's Hotel. As soon as we sent out the convention mailer, they of course were acquired by Hilton and the name changed. So I apologize for that change and inconvenience, but I want you all to know the hotel is wonderful. We got it at a great rate. It's $148 a night, which is the government per diem. And the Lowe's Hotel is now the Lofton Hotel. Same address, everything is the same except the name. The hotel's great. It's a wonderful place to stay. The rooms are recently remodeled. It's right in the middle of downtown Minneapolis. There are lots of things to do. I encourage you to check out the website, check out to see the restaurants and the hotel and the things that are around there. We do have a link that is contained in the convention email that we sent out for this Zoom. So if you want to book your room, do it now. Get your reservation in. You will need a personal credit card to hold that reservation. Let's see. Yeah, and the deadline for that is the end of August. I believe it's August the 29th. So if you want to get that per diem rate and you want to get under our group reservation, get that done before the end of August, but I would recommend the sooner the better. The last thing that we want to talk about is our committees. So we have 3 committees: the election, the credentials, and help me out. Will you put up the next slide, Matt, with the committees?
Yeah.
Bylaws.
Bylaws, I apologize. Here I've listed the 3 committees as well as the chairs for those committees. Bill Dugan, former NFFE National President, will be chairing the Bylaws Committee. Bill Finity, former Secretary Treasurer of NFFE National, will be chairing the Credentials Committee. And Andy Vanderheuvel will be chairing the Election Committee. Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about what those committees do and why they're important?
Yeah, just real quickly, and then since I think this might be the last thing, but for Q&A. So Matt, are people sending questions to the chat? Is that how they're doing it?
Yeah, I didn't receive any questions in advance. So if you have any questions, you can send them in the chat or just use the little reaction button and raise your hand in the Zoom, and we'll call on you and you can ask your question.
Okay. So the committees perform, some of the important functions at the convention, both before the convention and then actually when we get to Minneapolis. The election committee, which Andy is the chair, and it has Kim Valdez, Mark Munoz, and Roosevelt Davis on it, will basically runs the election. So they will evaluate the candidate, nominations and make sure the acceptances are there. And then when we get to Minneapolis, we'll run the actual elections that take place. The Credentials Committee does a lot of their work, both before the convention and at the convention, basically making sure that you will get your credentials mailed to you for your local, and then you send them back, and the Credentials Committee will evaluate those and make sure they're in order. And if there's any questions about, credentials, and normally there are a few questions about a few of them, then they will resolve those. The Bylaws Committee chaired by, the Credentials Committee has Jeff Shapiro, Nancy Soriano, and Daniel Burris, in addition to the Bill Finnerty, who's the chair. I see about Bill Dugan on the Zoom. Hi, Bill. Bill is the chair of the Bylaws Committee. Again, some of its work before the convention, and then a lot of its work at the convention, basically putting together all the bylaw amendments that come in and discussing them, and then when at the convention they make recommendations on those proposed amendments before they get voted on by the delegates. And on that committee is Bob Beckley. I also saw on the Zoom. Hi, Bob. Cassandra Buckingham from the VA, and Robin Bolja, also from the VA. So that's a short overview of the committees, and I'll turn it to you, Matt, to run the questions.
Okay, we have one question in the chat about parking at the hotel. Because the valet parking is $54 overnight. Is there any way for us to negotiate that down or eliminate it? Amy, I'm not sure if you know.
Yeah, I will look into that. I'll also look for alternatives to the hotel parking. There may be something close by that's more affordable. So I'll look into that. I will contact our hotel representative and see what we can do about parking. That's a great question.
And our next question here, I see Michael Grotman has his hand raised. Michael, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, okay. I'm not going to put my video on. Okay. Question. Okay. Couple questions. With a lot of okay, as most of you know, I'm a retired federal employee, and I fill in. Brad Guthrie asked me to fill in for him. Okay. At your May and your June meeting, since you have a lot of people, some are either teleworking, some are back into the office. Are you allowed at your local meeting to do a hybrid approach? Like if people can't make it, they can phone in, either go. What's the process for that?
Absolutely. So this was not allowed prior to the pandemic. The IAM sort of had strict rules about in-person local lodge meetings, but since then we have been using teleconferencing capabilities and Zoom and things to conduct meetings, and I would absolutely recommend it. If you can't get your folks there in person, make sure you have a conference call number. If you need NFFE's help in securing one, let us know. But make sure that notice is widely broadcast, and definitely have a teleconference option or digital option.
Okay, so okay, if you do I attend meetings through a lot of hybrid approaches. If you do a hybrid approach, like some people go in person and some people, would the NFFE headquarters provide the locals a Zoom meeting ID?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, all right. And also something else too, since NFFE is classified as nonprofit, if you're booking your hotel reservations, does that include if local officers are using their own local credit card, if they're putting on their own personal credit card or debit card, do they still have to pay like the hotel taxes or the sales taxes? How would that work?
Yeah, they do. Individuals will have to pay taxes associated with the booking of the hotel room.
All right. Okay. All right. Hopefully, okay. You answered my questions. So if you want to do Zoom, so who would we email to? Would we email it to Matt or Jeff or Randy? Say, I want to do it. Like if people want to do a hybrid approach,
Sure.
Who would they email? Who would they email in advance to?
Just email NFFE Convention 2024 at nffe.org, and we can get you something set up.
Email. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I think you answered my questions.
Sure. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for those questions. Do we have any other questions? I don't see any in the chat or anyone's hands raised. you can feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay, seeing none, feel free to email any questions as well to that email address, the NFFE convention 2024 at neffe.org. But I think about does it for today's call. This call was being recorded, so it'll be posted on our website here shortly for future reference. And as always, feel free to reach out with any other questions moving forward. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye, guys. Good seeing everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.